These are the paint products that I used for this project. They were leftovers from another project that I had here at home. I also used a roll of blue painter's tape, a pair of latex gloves, and I used a brush that I already had here at home. This paint set I did pick up at Home Depot, although I did not end up using the roller, I just used the brush. I will go ahead and link all of those products down in the description box below. So the very first thing that I did is I went ahead and I cleaned off the dresser. All I used was a damp paper towel just to go ahead and clean off all of the dust and any debris that was on it. So I did not prime or sand this piece, as you can see in the video. I went straight to it with the paint. I found that the best technique was to use small brush strokes. I started at the very top, and then after I was done with the top, I moved on to the drawers. So before I started this project, I did attempt to take these drawers out, but they would not budge. They were just not coming out. So I had to paint them inside of the dresser. I would highly suggest that you take out your drawers if you're able to. It would make the process a whole lot easier. And I applied a very thin first layer because I knew I would have to go in a second time, possibly a third time. So the first time you'll notice that it doesn't cover much, but it looks great at the end. And with the same brush, I very carefully painted the inner corners, so when that you close the drawers, you are able to see white instead of the brown. So after I finished with the top three drawers, I moved down to the bottom only because the top three were wet and I wanted to let them dry before I moved on to the two larger ones in the middle. So after I painted the entire left side, I think I probably painted about half of the right side and I called it a day. The next morning I did come back to the project and started to paint the middle of the upper drawers. I did use this little round brush that I had here at home, again from another project, but hopefully this won't be an issue for you if you are able to get your drawers out. I also painted the sides of the dresser. And then after I did that, I went ahead and started to do a second coat on the top three drawers. So after I finished with the second coat on the top three, I did work my way back down to the bottom again. I finished the right side and then I went ahead and did a second coat on the left side. So after that, I went ahead and I moved on to the sides. I did use longer brush strokes on the sides from top to bottom, instead of using the smaller brush strokes that I used on top. Unfortunately, after this step, I lost all of my footage. I don't have any footage of me applying paint to the middle drawers or doing the second coat or applying the polyurethane or the stain on top. Luckily, I did take some photos on my phone. This is after the two coats of paint. The top does look a bit grainy, but I wasn't worried about it because I knew I was going to stain the top. So this was right before I prepped it for the stain. That is why the blue tape is on there. This is a photo of what it looked like right after I stained it. I used one very thin layer of stain. I applied it with a brush. I did let that dry, and then I applied a thin layer of polyurethane. It is the crystal clear matte, and it dried very nicely. In this photo, I had taped off the knobs to stain them, and this photo shows what they looked like after the stain. And here's the finished product. I am very happy with this project. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helps you out. Please do not forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and be well.